Hi guys, welcome back. It's your voice that drinks a lot. You tuned into a Lap It Up, a drink review series. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's what we like it. That's how we like it. Today's drink is brought to you by STōK. Cold Brew Energy. Supports focus, 195 milligrams caffeine, B vitamins, guarana, and ginseng. Mocha cream. Betty right there. 140 calories, 3.5 grams total fat, 15 milligrams of cholesterol, 120 milligrams of sodium, and 24 grams of carbs. We're 21 are from sugars, so that's not bad. I'm actually curious that they have a telephone number on here. 866 number. And I'm wondering, what would you call that for? I mean, okay, almost like besides complaints, because people don't call when things are good. I mean, I guess some people do, but if things are good, you don't call, you know? Like, nobody just... Okay, where I work, I have had people call after we've done a job, or when somebody comes by to pay, to pick up whatever they paid us for. Sometimes they'll say something then, but people don't go out of their way, like, to say nice things. It's like Yelp reviews. It's always, you know, I'm going to say something because I'm mad. But if I had a really good time, you just accept it because, well, it should have been a good time to begin with. That's why you were paying for it, you know. They did what they were supposed to, and that's great, you know. And you're happy that it is, but are you going to go out of your way to, like, you know, make sure that everybody knows and is like, yeah, you thanked the guy when he did the job, so why put it, you know, a Yelp or any kind of other kind of review? So you normally see a lot of negative reviews. If you see any positive reviews, it always seems a little fake, like somebody got paid. You know what I mean? It's like when you buy stuff from Walmart or Kroger, not Kroger, or like Amazon, where it says, "Please review the items you purchased." And then you get like some really shitty reviews that are just like, I had this thing for 2 months and it never ever worked. It's like, you had it for 2 months and it never worked. You didn't think to, like, when it stopped working, contact and go, hey, it's not working. Anyway. So, therapy. It's a good thing. And mocha, and the coffee flavors still pretty decent. It's not as strong, but it's there. I think there are different forms of therapy, and anyone who's a therapist goes, yes, there is. I was watching this video, and I think it's from a creator named Kaylee Dance on Instagram, and I haven't watched any of her other stuff. And she had a rough day at work in the video that I saw, and she sat down with some Chipotle and just kind of broke down. Like, she was crying. She's like, sit with me and eat my Chipotle while I cry. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, I'm a little curious as to why you're crying. What happened? You know, it's like, and she didn't cry at work a little bit, she said, maybe a little bit. But I know those days when they get really rough and you're either getting a customer mad at you, you're trying to take in a work order, and you can't hear the customer because they either have speech issues, cognitive issues, or they're rude. We had a lady one time who had lost the keys to her vehicle, and we quoted her the price, and she says that she was so mad that we were charging her so much because it was just too expensive. And she said that one day she was going to school to become a lawyer so that she could sue us. She lost her keys. It wasn't really all that expensive compared to other stuff. But yeah, like, what the fuck? But like, literally, I've heard, like, my bosses had to get on like speakerphone and explain to the person, look, you are on speakerphone, so just everybody can hear you. Mind your manners. And anyway, she's picking through her salad, trying to find all the chicken, and she's talking about a little bit about her day, not in specifics, but just kind of going over this feeling of just not being just out of control, and I started thinking to myself, it's like sometimes being able to sit down and kind of reflect on it and also talk about it, or just have an open outlet to express yourself is good. It's very therapeutic. But I also know other people who it's almost like sitting in misery or sitting in depression is like being in a hot tub. It's because all your emotions are out, but then everything around you is your emotion. If you're depressed and sad, the whole world is and people are like, well, why would you want to feel that way and just feel better? I knew a friend of mine. He basically says the reason why he's not depressed and possibly is because he won't let himself think that way. And I had another friend of mine. This was a long time ago. I don't speak to this guy much anymore. He had this era, this time period of where he talked himself a big game. He thought he was the shit, said he was the shit. And like his shit didn't stink. His dick was so big it got above the clouds, so it was always dry on the tip. This is not a family friendly Michael Bay players, by the way, video. And I asked him one time, I was like, dude, why are you always like, you are not, I mean, I'm not saying you're like terrible, but like, you're not all that. And he said that if he starts saying that he's not, why? Like, why would he say he's not? Why would he try to, talk down about himself? Why would he try to feel bad? Because that's just gonna make him feel bad. If he doesn't think of himself as number one, then he's not number one, and that's depressing. So it was not talking himself up a big game that would lead him to depression. If he didn't say that he's number one, he wasn't number one, and then that would bring that's depressing. And I was just like, but you're not number one. You may be number one to you, and you're number one to your wife or number two to your wife. But like, you're a good person, you know, but you are putting, like, when we're around you, you act like you're better than us. And none of us are trying to say that we're better than anybody in the group, but you act like you are. We don't game with him anymore. We don't game much anyway, but this was a long time ago. And not specifically because of that. I mean, just, it was life reasons. But I mean, I know I kind of made it sound like that, but that was the thing. And it was like, some people have their own self-therapy, their own way of trying to cope with the world. And some people let other people handle it. Like, there are some people who let other people tell them what to do. Only that person, though. Only their person. You know what I mean? If anybody else tells them what to do or tries to get in their face, they're like, fuck you. But they'll literally do anything the other person tells them to do. And not like in a controlling dog leash kind of way. But they take a lot of what they say to heart more than anybody else. And that always frustrated me. And then I found somebody who did that to me. Not like, okay. I have a friend of mine who, her husband would like say this stuff. Like, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And she wouldn't do it. And then one time, and this has happened. It happened a couple times, but there was one time that I did this where I had said, you know, you should probably do that. And she's like, you know what? I think I will. I think I'll do that. And from the kitchen, I hear her husband say, I've been telling you to do that for months. And come to find out that it wasn't just me saying it. I think it was more of the combination of her husband saying it, her going, yeah, you know, I probably should. And then with having me say it, it was kind of like reinforcing that. And she was just like, you know what? I need to start doing this. I need to. And then she did. Or, now that I think about it, maybe she just said, yeah, I'll do it. And it was a response to it that pissed off her husband. Not in a bad way, but just in a frustrated way. Like, when I say it, you say nothing, or you go, oh. But when he says it, you're all like, yeah, I should do that. We all cope with things differently. So, and the best thing we can do is just try to do our best. Find that which makes you happy and do it, as long as it's not something that'll hurt other people. Like, if you like mowing and you got a zero turn, find somebody that wants you to mow their lawn. You know? Just get out there, put the face mask on, wear your hat, put in the music, and just go to town. You know? Enjoy yourself. If you like swimming, go swimming. If you like hiking, go hiking. If you like just sitting and reading a book, do it. If you like, and actually make your comfort better. Like, if you like going and reading a book, get a good chair. Get the right lighting. Like, get a lamp. Get something that accentuates the feel. Put it in a room that makes you feel like you're comfy. When you get in there, that's your space. Find your therapy, whether it's with somebody talking to you. And no, they don't have to be your friend because you're paying them. That was something else she said, and I realized it was a joke. He's like, the therapist has to, you know, because like They're like my friend. Like I'm paying them. They have to be nice to me. They don't. But and I found it funny. Like her video is very funny, and I felt really bad for her because she was genuinely upset. I think we all need our therapy. We all need our outlets. For me, for a lot of people, it's gaming. Exploding Pixels, as I say to a very, very dear, sweet woman that I've been talking to lately. Exploding Pixels is probably some of the more easiest ways of letting out that frustration for a lot of people, and I think it's a good thing to a degree. Art, music, just having those there to be able to get rid of the tightness in your chest, you know, that anxiety, that pressure. But anyway, this is really good. I've definitely gotten a bit more of a conversation out than, you know, with other stuff. It's not overly sweet. I think I actually really, really like this. Like, I'm really liking this. Like, a lot. And surprisingly liking this. Five and a 9. I almost want to give it a 10. It doesn't have any funky aftertaste. The coffee flavor is good. The cream is good. I'm gonna have to check out STōK, and see what else they've got, because this is damn good. I'm really jamming with this. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. As always, I'm Mr. Drinks a Lot, and I'm wishing you health, wealth, and love with enough time and gusto to enjoy it all down to the last drop. Get your therapy. Find what makes you happy. And do it. Every once in a while, just get out there and... I fell on the floorboard instead of the trash can. Yeah. Now I'm going to have a terrible day. No, just kidding. Y'all take care. I'll see you in the next one.